Hare Krishna. So the question is how to overcome anger. There are 6 impurities in our consciousness which keep us away from Krishna. And anger is one of the most prominent ones. Now, who in this world is who in this world is completely free from anger? Most of us face this emotion and we fail to understand where to use it and how to use it. There's a very famous philosopher who said that anger is 1 letter short of danger. So if we want to avoid danger in our life, we have to ensure that we don't get angry, and even if we do, there is a way we control or overcome it. We find, even according to the World Survey, there are so many relationships which are broken because of words which are said or pronounced when somebody is angry. We have to be very, very calm and composed if we aspire to be on this spiritual path. As far as an example from nature is concerned, we would see that when we sit on the banks or on the side of a pond and we take a small pebble and we throw it into the pond, immediately there are ripples on the surface. And as soon as there are ripples on the surface, you don't see the fishes anymore. You just see the ripples. Now, what's the way to see the fishes? Well, just sit on the banks for some time. Let the water settle. As it settles, you'll find that the ripples go away, and now you see the fish as it is. This example is very relevant in this context. It's because pebbles are like circumstances in our life, and they are thrown by people into the water or the pond of our consciousness, and immediately there are ripples of agitation. As soon as there is ripples of agitation, you don't see the fishes, which means you don't see the things as they are. Now, when there are ripples and you try to see the fish, you don't see them, although they exist. So you don't see them as they are. So similarly, when somebody throws provocative pebbles into the surface of our consciousness and there are ripples of agitation, frustration, irritation and anger, the best way to do is stay calm, hold your breath, try to count from 1 to 30 or something like that as the yoga teachers explain, and also chant the holy names of God. The names of Shri Krishna are so powerful that they help us overcome all the negative emotions. We on our own, we cannot overcome them, but when we surrender to the names, forms, qualities and pastimes of Shri Krishna, then we can overcome them. So when we are calm and composed and we take shelter of Krishna, the ripples of agitation settle, and then you can see the fishes as they are. One practical suggestion that we could share is that whenever we find agitation in our life, the best thing to do is just stay calm and not react at that moment. Take your time, stay aloof or isolate yourself if that helps you. Think about it in a very balanced, unbiased way. Not the fact that I am always right, but being humble enough to see the other person's perspective also. So when we try doing that, there are most of the times we see that the fault is actually ours. So then there is no need of being angry. We are angry when we are defensive, when we want to smash somebody. But a devotee is so humble. He wants to see the good in others and try to improve the drawbacks in the self. So on that note, we have to be very, very careful before we blast anyone through thought, word and deed. A final example to wrap it up is that of a fireball. As soon as you pick a ball of fire intending to throw at somebody, what's the first thing that happens? The first thing that happens is we end up burning our own hand before burning the other. So therefore, anger is such a negative vibe or a negative feeling that it causes more destruction to the self than to the person whom it's intended towards. Even on the basis of medical science, we understand that there are so many cells which are burnt and destroyed when we are angry. So we must be very careful that this emotion, if it's there in us, that would probably hinder our path on pure bhakti. So let us chant the names of Krishna and serve the Vaishnavas who are elevated to us. Because if we do that, then all the negative emotions are very nicely converted into positive emotions. So another question in connection to this is that, is it good for devotees to get angry? There was a devotee who cited this example of Hanuman, said that Hanuman burnt Lanka being a pure devotee. So can we also end up burning things and destroying everything and shooting bullets everywhere? We must understand that Hanuman is a very empowered personality. If Hanuman could burn Lanka, he could also build a bridge, he could also lift the mountain. So we have to be humble and understand that we don't have to get into all this. If we find somebody blaspheming Sri Krishna or blaspheming our revered spiritual master, then we deal in a very diplomatic way. Those who are envious, we avoid them completely. If there is somebody who is blaspheming, and you know that even if you reply on the basis of Shastra, they are not ready to listen. They will just listen to what they want to listen. Then to such people, you serve them by staying away. Because you know that even if you reply or answer to their so-called allegations, still they are still going to hold the same negative emotion. So why waste our time? Those who blaspheme, but you find a tinge of sincerity in them, in the sense that they blaspheme on the basis of whatever they hear, but they are not sure what is right. To such people, it is our duty. At that point, we shouldn't be very humble and say, yes, you blaspheme Krishna, that's okay. At that point, like a soldier, we stand on the, on that point, and then we tell that person on the basis of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. We explain to them very nicely of all the weak points in the argument and how they could be countered using the Shastra. However, a devotee never acts on his own will. He will never go and slap people, never become a terrorist. Those who, on the basis of religion or on the basis of spiritual faith, they try killing people, they try causing harm, this is very wrong. This is not at all prescribed, or this is not advised in the Vedic scriptures. So the way a devotee retaliates to blaspheme to Guru and Krishna is on the basis of time, place, circumstance. If somebody is faithful or little sincere and is blaspheming, you tolerate for the moment and then shoot back through the form of scriptural arguments. And if there is somebody who is envious and very much determined to their own narrow-minded, fault-finding mentality, then we just go and we say Hare Krishna and we save our time. Hare Krishna.